Hi everyone, my name is Charlotte. My sister and I had an unpleasant incident that created a rift between us. It just so happens that she caught us once. Is it my fault? Judge for yourself. I'll be glad for your comments and opinions. I'll tell you the rest of the story right now. My sister had a boyfriend, Scott, and they dated for a long time. He proposed to her, and I was so genuinely happy for her. My sister had already picked out her best wedding dress, hair, and shoes. I was proud of her because she was so beautiful. Of course, it was a little sad that she'd made her friend Abigail her maid of honor, not me. They had been friends for years, and my sister was crazy about her. Of course, I was jealous at first, but I realized that I would always be her sister, and it was harder to find a friend like Abigail, so I just got a little bit carried away. Sophia and Abby spent all day making guest lists and looking at cakes, and my parents were excited too, but they needed to settle things out of town, so they were gone for a couple of weeks. Oh, if only they knew what could happen in such a short time. While my sister was fiddling with the upcoming event, I managed to meet a cool guy online named Jacob. Jacob came over from Britain. I cringed at his accent. I liked him, and it was mutual. We went out on a couple of dates, and he offered for us to be official, and of course, I said yes. Sophia was happy for me and said that if everything went well, she would let him come to the wedding as my +1. That was nice of her. Later, Jacob invited me to a movie, but I refused because I had to organize a bachelorette party that night for my sister and Abby and their friends. I did everything right: the club, the music, the dance floor, and delicious snacks. We partied for hours on end, and to be honest, I had a little too much to drink that night. I walked out of the club to get some air and noticed Scott's car outside. Wow, when did he get here? I didn't even notice Sophia come out. Why did he park his car at the back of the club? I walked over to him and dropped my new bright pink purse that Sophia had just bought me as a thank you for the bachelorette party. Suddenly, the wind blew hard and I was freezing through my dress, so I opened the car and wanted to ask Scott to climb in, but he wasn't alone. I sobered up in an instant. I wanted to get out of there, but Scott blocked the doors. "Stop! Charlotte, if Sophia finds out, she won't get over it. You know how much she wants to marry me." "You're not worthy of her." I looked at the girl next to him. She was sitting huddled in the seat. "Wait, Charlotte, I love Sophia. This just happened. I don't know how myself. We're both drunk. Tomorrow everything will be like before. Just please don't tell her anything. Please don't tell her. I swear it won't happen again." The guy begged for mercy. I threw my purse at him as hard as I could and walked out of there. When I went back into the club, Sophia was so cheerful. She came up to me and told me that Scott, her future husband, was coming to get her, and she was so happy. And I couldn't tell her anything. After a couple of days, it got a little forgotten. The routine began. Abigail and Sophia were also doing preparations, and I was continuing my relationship with Jacob. And then Sophia suddenly disappeared. She didn't sleep at home for a few days, all the time telling me she was busy and sleeping at Abigail's. Then I woke up one morning, my phone bursting with messages. Damn, what the hell was Sophia doing? She was all over the place, writing a bunch of crap about me on social media. She posted all of my worst photos and videos and signed everywhere that she was living with a monster. I could not understand what the reason was. She wouldn't answer the phone, but she wouldn't stop posting either. Jacob came over and asked what kind of fly bit my sister. I shrugged, but I didn't feel comfortable. I asked Jacob to wait while I sorted something out. He left, and I went over to Scott's house. The jerk didn't answer the door for a long time. I had to swing a rock, and only then did he open it. And it wasn't Scott in front of me. It was some homeless guy. "What's wrong with you?" "You don't know yet? Sophia dumped me." "What? When? Did she find out about you and Abigail?" "Apparently. She just came to my house and poured gasoline on me and almost burnt my house down. She said she knew, and she hated me." "Asshole! It's your fault." "I don't need you to tell me that." Scott was angry, and his dog reacted. It ran to the door and threw me on the floor and started barking. I got so scared. The dog got drool all over me, so I went to the bathroom to wash up, and Scott kicked the dog outside. "So, what now? What are you going to do?" The truth came out anyway, even though I kept it quiet. It still didn't work. I told him from the bathroom, and when I opened the door, Sophia was standing there, with Abigail. What? Sophia, what are you doing here? Me? What are you doing here? What? It wasn't enough for you in the car? You came here too? You filthy bitch! My sister jumped me and started hitting me on the head. She grabbed my hair so tightly that I couldn't let go of her hands. Scott and Abigail didn't respond to my cries for help. They just huddled against the wall and watched what was happening. Wait, what are you doing? You're hurting me! Hurt? How do you think it felt to find out that my fiancé had cheated on me with my sister? Huh? What? What are you talking about? Let go already! Scott pulled me back and Sophia let go of my hair. We caught our breath, and then Sophia cried, You! Both of you! You jerks still don't get it! I got in your car that night and found a purse in there. A bright pink one. Don't you think I recognized the purse I gave to my sister? But the best part was, there was something else in it. A condom. Used. Are you both playing me for a fool? Thank God I have Abigail. You're traitors. I looked at Abby, and she lowered her eyes to the floor, as did Scott. I knew that whatever I was about to say wouldn't make sense because Sophia was too worked up. I just stayed silent, and then I said, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It just happened. Sophia and Abby left. Scott asked me why I didn't tell the truth. Back when I was a kid, when Sophia saw that I had girlfriends, she used to say how much she envied me, because she didn't have any. She couldn't be friends with anyone. For some reason, she just didn't meet like-minded people. The moment she had Abigail in her life, she came home in tears of joy and said, Can you believe it? For the first time in my life, I have a friend. It felt like she needed something, and it was fulfilled. She knew there was me who was always at her side, but it wasn't quite the same. And when Abigail came along, things just somehow got better. And now, if she knew the truth, it would break her completely. I'm sorry, Scott, but guys come and go, and friendship is something more sacred and precious to my sister. She loved you for real, though. Scott was ashamed. I could see that he was sorry, but how could he do anything about it? It was too late. Besides, I'm not that kind of person. I'm not violent. Was it unpleasant for me to be around Sophia and Abigail? Of course, but I didn't want to take justice, so I just decided to walk away. Next thing, my parents arrived, and Sophia told them that there would be no wedding. She wouldn't explain anything else. She went to live with Abby for obvious reasons. I didn't try to talk her out of it, especially since we'd stopped talking by then. So a whole year went by like that. I was still seeing Jacob. Sophia continued to live with Abigail. She got a job and came to our house to visit, but she would never talk to me. She wouldn't even look at me. It was painful. Jacob asked me many times why I wouldn't tell the truth, but I guess no one understood it but me. And then I got a job at Jacob's cafe as a receptionist. He had a nice place. He just opened it, and we decided to go into business together. There were a lot of new customers. Everyone wanted to try my signature pancakes that Sophia had taught me to make, and I called the dish Sophie. One day, the doorbell rang and Scott came in. He looked a little better than a year ago, but still exhausted. Jacob realized we needed to talk and showed me a place in the back, not far from the bathroom. We went out and I asked him how he was doing. It's been a year, and the more time passes, the more I realize what an idiot I am. It happens. Have you been in touch with Sophia? No, she hasn't wanted to see me or talk to me since. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's not much, but still. At least she has someone close to her. I really hope Abigail doesn't betray my sister again. Doesn't Abigail have a conscience? She jumped into my car herself. She was the one who called me and asked me to come to the bachelorette party, telling me that Sophia wasn't feeling well. I came to pick her up, but Abby was standing in the driveway. She sat down and started hitting on me. Don't blame her. I'm not making excuses for myself, but you. How could you take the blame for her? I already told you. I can't take Sophia's friend away from her. Who knows? Maybe Abby is dearer to her than all of us. Dearer to her than me. Then there was a scream from the open window in the wall behind us. We turned around and I saw Sophia's face in the small window. What did you both just say? A moment later, Sophia was already beating Abigail right in the bathroom of the cafe. We could barely separate them. Abby apologized and ran away. Scott got punched in the face too, and then Sophia came up to me and apologized. The truth always comes out. Always, no matter how much you try to hide it. It'll find a way, and even if it took a year, I don't regret that it happened that way. What would you have done if you were me? Tell me, guys, did you like my story? Write your opinion about it in the comments below the video. Don't forget to like it, share the video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel.